We put the foxes back in their boxes and there's no joke in the smoke. Despite that, there's still room for a frown. There's sadly yet another man down. And in the FPL Hood, it's all looking pretty good. The good, the bad and the ugly at Liverpool FC podcast for game weeks 17 and 18. Brought to you by the LFC file. Roll the intro, Joe. Welcome back, one and all, for the latest episode of the good, the bad and the ugly at Liverpool FC podcast for game weeks 17 and 18. Brought to you by the LFC file and myself, Ben Green. Thanks for stopping by, and as usual, remember to like, subscribe, press the notification bell and all that stuff, and we can continue to grow the channel. So please stay until the end, because for those that don't know, there's going to be the FPL roundup at the end, and we'll be able to see how the good ship FC Akian Saltfish is getting on in this season's campaign. So without further ado, let's get the ball rolling with the good. The good is going to be the 5-0 drubbing of the Hammers of West Ham in the FPL Game Week 18 fixture yesterday, which was at the City of London Stadium. What can one say? Super result. Just absolutely blew West Ham away. I was absolutely astounded by how easy it was, to be honest. I don't know if Liverpool were that good or West Ham were that bad. I think it's probably a bit of both, maybe weighted towards the latter. And you could see that in the West Ham fans voting with their feet, because with about, I don't know, maybe 5 minutes left, the stadium was virtually empty. I think there was more Liverpool fans than there were West Ham fans in the stadium, actually, which doesn't bode well, actually. So Luis Diaz opened the scoring on 30 minutes with a pretty good finish, assisted by Mohamed Salah, I believe. Was it? I think it might have been. But anyway, Salah definitely assisted Cody Gakpo for the second, this is for sure. And Salah got himself on the score sheet just before half time with a pretty rudimentary finish, let's put it that way. And then in the second half, there were goals from Trent, which was an absolute weldy, and Diogo Jota, who came on as a sub after, I don't know, maybe 60, 70 minutes. He got on the score sheet, also assisted by the man of the moment, Mr. Mohamed Salah. All smiles from the Liverpool faithful this morning, I would say, sitting pretty on the top of the Premier League with a points gap of around 8, I believe, 45 against Nottingham Forest, surprisingly, who are second on 37 points. With a bit of a throwback to the late 70s, early 80s feel to the table there, of course, with Arsenal, Chelsea. They weren't there at that point. But anyway, the top three looking like it would have done some time back for those like myself, sadly old enough to remember, or gladly, depending on how you look at it. And I have the summary here from Sky Sports. West Ham 0, Liverpool 5, Mohamed Salah stars as Reds maintain Premier League title charge. Report and 3 match highlights. Salah scores 1 and sets up goals for Cody Gakpo and Diogo Jota in big Liverpool win at West Ham. Luis Diaz, Trent Alexander-Arnold also on target as the Reds go 8 points clear at the top of the Premier League, while West Ham sit in 13th. That is according to Peter Smith, who is the senior football journalist, as it happens. So yes, no finer authority than that at Sky Sports, it seems. So yes, that was a great result for Liverpool. It's looking very good. I have to say. Let's not count our chickens, but so far so good. And moving swiftly on to, we have a not bad this week, and that, of course, I would say is Liverpool's 3-1 victory over Leicester City at Anfield, which was on, would have been Wednesday, wouldn't it, I think. Wednesday or Thursday. I don't know. It's all a blur now with a holiday season, but Boxing Day nonetheless. Liverpool were able to run out 3-0 winners over Leicester City, which they done well to do, having fallen behind early on. I think it was Jordan Ayew, wasn't it? The old Palace fella. Scored after about 6 minutes, which is a bit annoying actually, and it's good that Liverpool made amends for that against West Ham. But then Cody Gakpo scored in injury time. He's on fire at the moment as well. Curtis Jones, who is becoming the player that everybody, I think, would have suspected he could be earlier on in his career, is playing very well, and he played really well yesterday against West Ham as well. And of course, Mo Salah, who else, scoring in the 82nd minute to put the game beyond doubt. It was a result I think many would have expected, although under Slot you wouldn't have expected Liverpool to have fallen behind so quickly, which was fairly sort of Klopp-esque, if you want to use an odd word. But come back they did anyway, and I've got the official LFC site here with their headline from Chris Shaw. Liverpool moved 7 points clear with 3-1 Premier League win over Leicester City. I don't really think you need to say much more to that, really. Good result. It was foggy as hell in the pit in the stadium, and I was thinking at one point, God, can they play in this? But then actually with these cameras that zip along the wires and stuff, you could see that actually I think on the pitch it wasn't that bad. Although through the cameras and everything, it looked as if it was quite a pea soup. So you're thinking, hope this doesn't get abandoned, but luckily it didn't. And Liverpool were able to secure the points and the scoreline that their performance deserved. It's all looking very good at the moment. No complaints at all from any Liverpool fans. And we still have a game in hand as well, so we still have to play the Blue Shite from across the park. I think I would say Liverpool have it to lose at the moment. Liverpool definitely have the title to lose at this point in the season. Looking forward, you can see that there are a few issues coming up. Let's look at it that way. With the Trent situation, Mo Salah situation, which apparently is not as big a done deal as we thought, or as close to being a done deal as we thought. So we have to see how things develop in these areas. Moving swiftly on to the ugly. And the ugly, I would say, is probably the state of Joe Gomez's hamstring. Mr. Versatility himself limped off in the first half, actually, against West Ham yesterday. And you saw him pull up after he went for a challenge, and it was one of these, holding the back of the leg, and you think, oh dear, here we go again. And then, that was it. It was pretty much all over for him, unfortunately. That's a big blow, Gerald Quansah was able to come on, but if anything happens to him, or God forbid, Mr. Van Dijk, then I think things could take a nasty turn. So there's a lot of football to be played, a lot of injuries to be mended. So we see how things pan out. But all the best for Mr. Gomez. Hopefully he'll get better soon. I've got Paul Gorst here from the Echo. Hello, come here. I'm doing my podcast. You can say hello to YouTube people. Look, very nice. Do you mind if I just finish my thing now? Mm-hmm. But thank you for showing me. Say goodbye. No, can you see yourself there?
Goodbye.
Anyway, where was I? So, big blow for Liverpool. Hopefully they don't sustain any more injuries. I think Tsimikas has just come back the last few weeks. And I think that's needed because Andy Robertson's performance was a little bit ropey in the first 20 minutes. I think most people would agree with that. Gave the ball away, almost conceded. And it just seemed a little bit sloppy actually. Yeah, I'm saying no more for the moment. Let's see what happens there. And Paul Gorst here from the Echo says Liverpool suffer Joe Gomez injury blow as Arne Slot loses another defender. Joe Gomez was substituted with a muscle injury in the first half of Liverpool's Premier League match against, it says Manchester United, but that wasn't Manchester United at all. God, terrible, terrible. Yeah, what are you playing at, Mr. Gorst? Yeah, it was Chelsea. It was, we all know, against West Ham. It's a snippet from the Mail here from Tom Balogun, Balogun, if that's how you pronounce it, who says Arne Slot provides an update on Joe Gomez after the defender suffered a hamstring injury in Liverpool's 5-0 win. And I think actually it's not as serious as first anticipated, but he is going to be out for a few weeks nonetheless. On that note, we move swiftly on to the FPL update for FC Akiazadish for game weeks 18 and 19. So first, let's start off with game week 18. There you can see, and this is FPL game weeks, of course, which is Liverpool's a little bit out of kilt because of the game in hand situation. Anyway, just thought I'd explain that. Game week 18, we've got 63 points there. Not a bad haul actually. Mo Salah 18, Kuna with 12. Who else? We've got Palmer got 10 there. It was a very good return from him. And Orazazan in goal for Bournemouth got 8. And that was with their defeat of Man U. So very good scoreline there. And on game week 19, even better so far. 75 points, and there's still another 1, 2, 3 scoring opportunities. But so far, there is 32 from Mr. Salah, if my eyesight doesn't fail me. 12 from Mr. Wood at Nottingham Forest, because they beat Tottenham, didn't they? 2-0. And 15 from Mr. Alexander Arnold after that cracker against West Ham yesterday. So yeah, all good in the FPL Hood. Let's see what comes up in the fixtures today. There's Chelsea playing Ipswich. Arsenal will travel across London to Brentford, and Brighton will play Villa. So let's see how Mr. Palmer, Gabriel and João Pedro do respectively in those fixtures. Onto the league situation for the Düsseldorf Super League here. You can see I'm on 1,239 points. I'm quite surprised how fortunate I am at this point of the season, but there you go. I'm not going to give them back. Fairly decent return there. Healthy lead over Mainly Mortals, but I think he has quite a few players yet to play. So that's not over yet. But a lead of around 50 points, thereabouts, 53 points or something like that. Yeah, without doing the math, maybe 63, I don't know. And onto the League of Kings, which for some reason is called 20146667. I have extended my lead over here. We go. I now have 1,148 points to my name. Yes, very happy indeed. I did make one change. I bought in, what's his name, Ibrahim Assar, isn't it, for Umbreno, which probably turned out to be a bad move actually. I could have got Easy as well, and I think money-wise I plummeted for him. Yes, hindsight is always a good tool, isn't it? Anyway, on that bombshell, I will bring us to the end of this week's podcast. As always, thank you very much for joining. It's very, very much appreciated. Like, subscribe, press the notification bell, and all that helpful stuff. And let's continue to proceed. No idea why I've got this pen in my hand, but yeah, why not? Look after yourselves. I think here in Dusseldorf, at least, I think we're going to have a bit of snow in the coming days. This is what it's looking like at the moment. So take care of yourselves all. Enjoy the remainder of the year and all the best for 2025. Thanks for the support over 2024. Hugely appreciated. And until then, I'll see you in the next one. Peace. ULFC file.